welcome back. Fred in the Shed 2, just a little chat and tell you what I've been up to and a little preview of this radio. This is the main radio that I've been playing with. Came in from review. Thank you very much to Raddy that supplied this radio. A little bit more expensive than what I'm used to reviewing on Fred in the Shed. Comes in just over £200, so yeah, it's a little bit pricey. This is the RF 919 and it's really, really refreshing to see that a company is still producing a dedicated shortwave radio. This has many, many functions though. As far as covering the shortwave band, it goes all the way down to long wave, right up to shortwave up to 30 megahertz, everything in between, all modes. Does cover the UK FM CB as well. And that's a bit of a shock because so many radios just ignore the FM side of CB. And when I'd got this out of the box, I extended the antenna and had a flick round the UK FM and straight away picked up some stations, some breakers on just on the standard antenna, which was pretty amazing really. As far as the shortwave goes, yeah, it's a very, very good receiver. I spent a lovely afternoon the other week just laying in the garden on the grass with this radio. I had set up a long wire, just a basic long wire to my fence. Also used I used a little mini loop and also the U loop as well. And picked up loads and loads of stations, not all English speaking of course, but really, really brought the stations in well. It's got a couple of downsides. You'll see that in the video. It will be a long video. I will have to warn you that it's probably going to be about 50 minutes long. It's got a couple of little things I'm not entirely happy with, but overall it's a great package and it goes beyond shortwave. It carries on up the frequency range. I can't remember now. I think it goes up maybe up to 1,000 megs. But it covers 2 meters, 70 centimeters, 446 air band as well. So there's plenty to listen to on this radio. And yeah, it's pretty decent actually. I mean, tuning wise, it is a digital tune like most of these are nowadays. It does have this very nice tuning ring. And it also has a fine tune as well. So much like a clarifier, that is very welcome. It's not perfect though. I'll get into that in the review. Other things it does, of course, it's a Bluetooth speaker. It has a little SD card so you can play music if you like. And it does sound epic. I mean, Raddy have always done really, really well on the sound of these radios. This is no exception. Claims to be 20 watts. I'm not sure if it's that loud, but it does have a very decent sized, good sounding speaker in the front. And also, it's one of those passive bass ports. So there is another speaker cone in there. In the back it says super bass, and it is actually got a really nice low resonance on the bass, which you can't get across on camera. But when you tune into a sort of an R&B station, or especially if you put your SD card in, it's like a little mini boombox. Doesn't have a DAB radio though, which is one of the downsides. Antenna wise, you've got 3 lots of inputs. At the moment you see I've got an input there going into the back. That's just for my CB antenna, and on the top there you have a dedicated loop antenna input, and also a UHF VHF for your little sort of like mobile antennas can go into there as well, so you can pick up ham radio. Yeah, it's a very nice piece of kit. A little bit more expensive than I'm used to, and that review will be coming up. Should be next Sunday on Fred in the Shed. I'm just waiting for a little bit of skip to come in on the 11 meter band so I can finish it. At the moment I've got nothing coming in. This is 10:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and yeah, there's not much coming. Well, there's nothing coming in. Sometimes it's been coming in a little bit in the afternoons around about lunchtime. There's been a bit of USA coming in this morning, but it's been very quiet. I was expecting a little bit more skip, being Sun Cycle 25 and all that. But it has been very, very quiet. And we've had a lot of funny things going on, like things like the Northern Lights being seen way down south, which is unusual. The Aurora, which maybe there's solar activity which has wiped out the skip conditions. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's been a little bit quiet. As far as local CB, I'll be honest with you, I've not been on the radio. I've been on holiday, obviously, and my work pattern changed a while ago. I haven't got a chance to get on the 305. I think Dan's still on there. If you are listening out for the 305, it isn't busy like it was on the older videos. and I'm very guilty of not being able to get on the radio. Work and life, unfortunately, has just got in the way, which is how it goes. Have been away, been on holiday for a week. Me and Mrs. Fred had an absolutely wonderful quiet week down in the middle of Thetford Forest. I said to you before, we like to go away on these really remote locations. I'll put some pictures up. And we just walk the dogs through the woods and just generally de-stress, completely relax. Did take a couple of little PMR radios because there is no phone signal down there at all. Absolutely nothing. So we are relying on little PMR radios, and we get our shopping delivered by Tesco's. When we get down there, we get a week's worth of shopping, and he hasn't got any phone signal to contact us, and the sat nav in that area runs out about 3/4 of a mile from where the cottage is down the lane. So I have to go down the lane and wait for the driver, and Mrs. Fred can then contact me via the little PMR radio to let me know when he's on his next trip, when he's on his way. So really comes in handy. So there is definitely a use for PMR radios. Other than that, I've got a few videos coming up which I can't show you too much at the moment. We've got a radio coming from Radio Oddity. I can show you the box, the QT60 10-meter radio, fully programmable for dark side use. Currently at the moment they're building up stock in their UK warehouse, so I can't review it until they've done that. This is a big popular radio for them in America. They sell a lot of this for genuine 10-meter radio use. It's a radio that you will recognise straight away once I get it out of the box. I haven't even opened it yet because I'm waiting to do that on video. So yeah, once they've got their stock of radios and also the program cable, I'm hoping to get them to do a discount on the program cable. Maybe they can sell it at cost, and then you can program this yourself at home, which is awesome, because if you ever lose the presets, it's very easy then to reprogram, and you can get all your memories and get all your favourite channels where you want them on what band. That's going to be coming up soon. I've also got another little radio coming in, which is going to be a mobile CB radio. Very old school, very retro. Shouldn't be expensive. Should be about 55 or 60 quid, pounds coming in. That's coming up. Also, I've got another ATS-25 shortwave receiver. I've got the Bluetooth version this time, which is what I'm really looking forward to doing that, because you can, for the first time, you can use Bluetooth headphones and a Bluetooth extension speaker. A few of you have said to me in the comments, Fred, what's the difference between the ATS-25, the ×1, the amp version? And well, it's getting very hard to answer that, because there seems to be different versions of the radio springing up now. I think there's about 4 currently. Instead of putting it all together in one radio, some have got dedicated antenna inputs for large arrays and LNAs and loops. Other radios have got, like I say, Bluetooth and things like that. So yeah, it's getting very difficult to answer that. They seem to be sort of spreading out. I mean, it's a great radio, and I can understand why they want new versions, but it would be helpful if they just put it all in one unit. So anyway, that's coming up. I've got some dark side PMR stuff as well, and also just something a bit different. I've got a little solar powered security camera that would be quite useful if you've got a remote shed or caravan or something where you haven't got power and you want to keep an eye on what's going on. Anyway, waffling. A lot of stuff coming up. So I'd just like to say thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it on Fred too. It's a bit like a family, isn't it? Just me and you having a chat. Thumbs up from Fred in the Shed. I hope you're all well. And yeah, you're staying safe and all the rest of it. Normal thing, just give me a thumbs up before you go. I'd really appreciate that, especially on Fred too. Look after each other. Enjoy your week. Stay safe. Look out for this one next week. It's going to be an awesome video. Cheers. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.